So, today's going to be something to talk about. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, the D here, aka the captain of the Thunder God Pirates, and your host with the most, who definitely likes toast with butter and mixed berry jam, or sometimes grape, just not apple. Apple jam's cool and whatnot, but grape is kind of undefeated, and mixed berry is God tier. But anyway, but thank you so much for joining us for another chapter video, or chapter discussion. Didn't call it a review this time because I'm not reviewing anything really, which is kind of odd. But anyway, yet again, before we get into the chapter today, yet again, thank you to everybody who watched these videos, because I really do appreciate it. You know, I really do appreciate it. Bring them, do a little of the appreciation. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. And today's chapter, some stuff happened. Not entirely sure what, but yeah, I guess, like I said, we're going to talk about it. One Piece, chapter 1043, Let's Face Death Together. So this chapter picks up where the last one left off, with Kaido leaning his kanabo into Luffy's chest. And just so we're clear, he didn't just hit him. He hit this motherfucker and followed through. And goodness, as we can see, Luffy is coughing up blood, and we just see the aftermath and like the shockwave, because we can see the black lightning coming off, you know, denoting the armament and the conquerors. Like, he put his whole back into his swing, and he made a crater out of Luffy. So then we see Kaido standing over Luffy, and even there was another Cypher Pole member, CP0 member, somewhere within the castle, probably going after Nico Robin. And here we see Luffy's strength leave his body, you know, the steam that he was trying to keep in last time. He, you know, goes flying off like a balloon, like he always does. And Kaido just looking like he looks distraught. Like, it's like I was saying last time, Kaido isn't without his honor. Like, he wanted to win, just not this way. He wanted to beat Luffy. But he just has to watch as Luffy does this quote unquote pathetic, you know, death throw or whatever, and literally flies away like a fucking. I'm telling you, like, how motherfuckers keep from cracking up in universe when this shit happens, I will never understand. But anyway, so then we cut to Momo, who's still dragging Onigashima, by the way, and it looks like Kaido hasn't noticed. And even Momo was like, I don't hear Luffy's voice. So Luffy stops flying and ends up flat on his damn back. And even as Kaido's just still with that grimace on his face, just looking. And then we see that it's official. Battle on the roof of the Skull Dome. Winner, Kaido of the 100 Beasts. And so he walks over to Bowler Hat. And has that same grimace on his face. And he says, so you're prepared for what happens next. And Bowler Hat just pulls the hat over his face, because he knows that Kaido is finna put everything, because even as Kaido was cocking back with the swing in his hybrid form, mind you, with the black lightning pouring off that kanabo. Then it cuts to a distant shot. Dude. Boy, he'd have knocked his brains out his ass with that one. Good grief. And even within the Skull Dome, I think it's in the pleasure floor. Well, the pleasure hall. Well, not the pleasure hall. The main stage. You could see the impact on the other side. Like, he hit that motherfucker hard enough to knock his nuts back into the Stone Age, bruh. That shit was ridiculous. But then we cut to the new guy. Like, I don't remember seeing him, or I might have and I just don't remember. The guy with the, it's not a bowler hat. I can't remember the type. I don't think, know what, it's a top hat. okay, with pinstripes and with like the 2 stripes over his eyes, that mask guy. I don't remember seeing him, but it could just be me. Like I said, I think the reason he didn't go out there, he wasn't with him, was strictly because of yet again, they're trying to go after Robin. So with other buddy dead potentially, and Bowler Hat going to fuck up Luffy's fight, he's like he's probably like, okay, let me go find Nico Robin and get the hell out of here, because Kaido is not happy with us right now. So we then see Kawamatsu, who's looking on as the ceiling is collapsed, and then he's like, okay, we still got thousands of comrades inside the building. They're up in the sky. There's no water. You know, he's pretty much talking about the fire. Like, okay, there's really nothing we can do. It's like, you know, he's telling like, look, man, we can't stop the fire. You got to get out of there. You know, because some of them are just standing there. It's like there's no point being burned to death. And then as he's, you know, talking to the people, you know, who are in the fire, we see a blast breath hit a bunch of the samurai, and Kaido in his full dragon form appears before them. And Kaido then tells them Straw Hat Luffy is dead. He then asks them, as he's hovering over in full dragon form, where's your leader? I must have Momonosuke surrender. If anyone else wishes to challenge me, step forward. So then the Beast Pirates, they are elated that their master won. And even the Heart Pirates, the Kid Pirates, and the Samurai are like, oh no. And so Kid and Law, they're spent, and even Law comments, uses his hockey, he's like, Straw Hat's voice has vanished. And Kid's trying to get up, and he's like, damn, well, I guess that short-lived dream is over. And Law is just like, this is a cruel, brutal reality. The cold, brutal reality, excuse me. There's nothing left in the tank. Chopper's freaking out. And even Nami, who's with Otama, they're freaking out. And even Tom is like, no, he can't. He's like, you're lying. He can't lose. And then Nami in a, like, Nami real nigga of the moment award. Because Kaido, after defeating, because we, as the audience, we know that this fight wasn't exactly what it was supposed to be. But anyway, we know. But Nami, who's taking this at face value, speaking up to Kaido himself in his dragon form, calls that nigga a bold-faced liar. She yells and is walking towards Kaido, which is the thing. So Kaido, he's looking at her. He's like, okay, well, at least one of you has some spunk. So then he prepares his blast breath and fires, but Marco is able to shield her, but still, that's a large blast, and he's tired, so he can't completely defend her, so she still falls down. So he's like, look, don't lose your head. You know, this isn't over yet. And even Nami, she kind of curls into a ball and she's sobbing like Luffy. Like, cause yet again, Luffy, cause they, even with all her spunk and moxie, she knows Kaido wouldn't be here if Luffy was still up. Luffy wouldn't let him leave. So Kaido then goes on to make a proclamation. Onigashima will soon land upon the flower capital as originally planned. Unlike Orochi, I am no pushover. He then goes on to expound about his plans. This country's a weapons factory. You're all going to be slaves. Your life is only worth what you're able to produce. And then he's like, look, you fought me, and now you will face me. This is what it means to lose a war. The cost of your defeat is your freedom and hope. So some of them are like kind of stealing themselves with their swords, like, okay, we're going to have to fight him. We're going to die, we're going to fight him. But some of them are like, oh my God. So then he's like, look, bring Momonosuke to me. The battle is not over until I deal with him. So then the beasts start, yet again, with the fact that their leader won. They, from here on out, they are, like I said, they're elated. They get a rush of energy. They're like, oh, take down Law and Kid. They're like, okay, let's go ahead and finish them off. And even in the moment, they're unable to defend themselves. But their pirate crew, we got John Barton, somebody from Kid's crew, in like a little mini half leather jacket. They step in to protect them. So we then see Carrot and Nekomamushi coming to the fray, coming to help. And then we go to the castle basement. And, we cut there quickly, and it's looking like, there's still a lot of samurai down there, and there's nothing to, like, there's nowhere to go. There's no exit. That, whatever that monster was, it was there, so the flames were kind of concentrated there. And then we cut back over to Law and Kid, and Kid's trying to reform his left arm. And he tells Law, like, look, I'm gonna fight. I'm not surrendering. Not going out without a peep. And then even Law he draws his sword and he's like, damn it, Straw Hat. So then we cut to the reins of Onigashima with Momo still dragging the ship. So he starts freaking out and he's like, look, I don't know what I can do. If Luffy couldn't do it, I can't beat him. But Yamato's like, look, you have to fight, even if it ends in death. And remember, Yamato grew up on this island, watching the samurai, admiring him. He was like, wait a minute, you samurai, that's supposed to be your thing. You fight to the end, no matter what. So, and she's like, who else but us can do it? We're the only ones who can do this. And like think about it, Kaido's deeply wounded. Like we felt what was happening up there. Luffy was able to do some damage before going down. We're gonna have to do something. So Momo, what he says is kind of sensible. Okay, it's kind of sensible. He's like, that would only be adding more bodies to the pile. It galls me, but Luffy is already lost. Then my only option is surrender. So he's trying to say, like, look, we keep fighting, we're gonna make it worse. At least we can live. If I surrender, we live. So in Yamato, so pretty much Momonosuke's trying to save lives. So then Yamato then goes on to say, she won't let him do that. What will survival even mean? Only a return to slavery, counting down the days of death. Surrender is not the same as salvation. Yes, if they surrender, Kaido won't kill them immediately, but you're going to be a slave. And he's going to work you to the bone and grind your soul to dust. It's not going to be a life. So Momo it kind of clicks with him. Yeah. You surrender. Just because you surrender doesn't mean this is over. Your suffering, your country's suffering, your people's suffering will have only just begun. And then she goes on to remind him, this is what the daimyo from all over Wano did when they gave their lives fighting back against Orochi. The last 20 years of Wano is riding upon this battle. If you're going to let it go to waste, then let's fight, let's face death together. And so we then cut to Samurai still fighting, and Kaido is going ham with his Boro breath. And it's then we cut to Onigashima, to the Skull Dome. And here we see Badoomp, Badoomp. And then we cut to a panel of Zunisha contacting Momonosuke. Momonosuke, I can hear it. How long it's been. So he's like, what is it, Zunisha? I hear the drums of liberation. For the first time in 800 years, he is here. Who is Joy Boy. And then Luffy's face, as he was flat on his back, with a grin, with a frown on his face. Not necessarily a frown, but he was frowning. He was unconscious. He wasn't frowning intentionally. But then in the last panel, which I'm gonna try to show you, which, I don't know about that. But you can see his grin, and then this looks like smoke and energy starts coming off him, and even his hair transforms. And that's the end of the chapter. Next chapter, 2 weeks out. Okay, so I've been thinking about this since I read the chapter initially this morning. I don't know how to feel. Not gonna lie, I don't know how to feel. Because one thing I always gave One Piece was it's more real. It doesn't rely on the whole transformation, dark power thing. Because in Bleach with Ichigo's Hollow, with Naruto's Nine-Tailed Fox, Kurama being within him. With Luffy, it's always been nothing but him. With this, like I said, that's why I said I'm unsure, because we don't know if the spirit of Joy Boy is going to take over Luffy and act for him, or if Luffy's going to wake up with new powers. It's like, oh, well, this is different, but it's still him. which I would prefer. I prefer it was like, damn, I don't know why I'm doing this, but shit. Or this could be unintentionally his awakening. He might have unintentionally awakened his fruit. And because the reason I say this, because look at the hair. Like I said, look at his hair. It's changed. Maybe his awakening might still involve his body, and like it might cause his hair to turn into rubber, which changes the shape and like the texture of it, which would be dope. So Luffy awakened, and like the drums of liberation is just the awakening of his devil fruit. But like I said, we don't know, and that's the thing I've been kind of like going back and forth with, because like a while back, I think I told y'all about this. Joy Boy, I think it was Joy Boy Theories, who did a video. Well, not did a video. He was talking about on Twitter about how maybe how would people feel if Luffy turned out to be like a destined one like Naruto. Some people were saying like, no, it ruins everything. Me personally, I don't think so, because Naruto's whole thing, and yes, it was before I even go there, was, oh, destiny doesn't mean anything. Hard work beats talent. That was Naruto's core theme. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you don't believe that, but it was. Kishi drove that point home and then shat on it in the 11th hour. He did. But with Luffy's whole thing was never, oh, screw destiny, screw this, screw that, I'm doing things my own way. He was very willful, and on top of that, one of the core themes of the Straw Hats' success to a point has been luck, which could be seen as the hand of destiny. So they've been lucky from jump start. Like, that's always been a core theme of theirs. So, yeah. So I don't think it matters as much for Luffy as it does for like somebody like Naruto, whose whole thing was being the destiny breaker and then turned out to be the destined child. Still don't know why you had to do that, but whatever. But yeah, I think with Luffy it'll work better, but I'm just hesitant about this whole thing right here. Like what this means for Luffy. Like it's either his awakening, because remember, there was that thing about what the Gorosei were saying about them having to change the name of a fruit and like kind of rework some shit. And this could either be A, that, or B, this could be Luffy's just the Gum Gum Fruit's awakening. But anyway, it was a dope chapter. Shit's moving, and like I said, we're inching closer and closer to this climax. And I'm interested in what this means for Luffy. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. If you like what you heard, definitely like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought about the chapter. But this has been your boy, the D, signing out. See you guys. Take it easy.